Good morning, everybody. It is May 4th here, Tuesday, 8 a.m. in the morning. Hope everyone's doing good. Today, we're going to take a look at VeChain here to see what the price action is telling us. There's a bunch of positive sentiment for VeChain at the moment with the recent listing on Nasdaq, which we're going to talk about a bit here. That Nasdaq actually put out this article here, which it's almost 10 days ago or more, or April 22nd. They're just explaining the technology and what VeChain stands for, and all the interesting things that VeChain is doing in the community in terms of all the partnerships they're being involved in, and also the recent US patent application that VeChain put out for the recording carbon emissions and recording that data on the blockchain. So make sure you if you haven't really subscribed to the channel, make sure you subscribe, like the video, comment, share. It definitely helps out the channel a lot. But without further ado, VeChain chart here, we're just going to take a quick look at the price action. VeChain's been stuck in this sideways movement here ever since April 27th, so it's been almost a week and a bit, and I think we are stuck in this ascending triangle where we know exactly we're going to get rejected of. It's basically somewhere at the 22.7 cents, and the reason for that is we know exactly from after this major rally that VeChain had. We can tell here that we never really had a close below the 22.7 cents region. It's a highly reactive area. We'll see after major drops at the bottom. It's a lot of good opportunity for a lot of buyers that kind of missed on the uptrend to buy it somewhere close to the 17 cents and then push the price back up within the same day. So it's extremely volatile. There's a lot of traders that are actually also working on this, and there's a lot of profit taking that you're seeing happen. So the fact that it's dumping quick and it's getting bought up really quick is telling you a lot about how the price action is risky and something you need to keep in mind, right? So overall, on the long term, we are positive on VeChain. It's a bullish overall outlook on it, but something to definitely keep in mind. Overall, today, VeChain right now is sitting at the 19 cent region. And just like I said, the zone over here that we're getting rejected off, this is the daily chart over here, and I have the 4-hour chart, which I'll talk about in a second. But we know exactly at the 22.7 cent region is where we will be getting rejected off for sure. You can see here from this previous period in mid-April where we never really had a close below. Every time we closed below it, there was a lot of buying pressure that actually pushed it all the way up. And right now, since Bitcoin fell hard, it definitely affected the whole market. I think today we're having a bit of retracement on a bunch of those altcoins. And it's granted, to be honest, because of how Bitcoin is moving. So everything we're going to talk about in this video is definitely fully dependent on how Bitcoin moves. Bitcoin is in a also same thing in an uptrend, but we're definitely getting rejected off the 57 all the way to the 58 700 region. Yesterday's candle wasn't really that great. I think it was a bit more of a bearish candle, but overall Bitcoin definitely needs to find that support here soon. And even if you watch our video, you'll know what we're talking about here. But the daily 50 SMA is exactly where Bitcoin actually has been highly reactive to, even from 2017. This thing called the end of that cycle dropped below it recently, and caused a lot of panic in the market. Now we actually pushed back upwards above it. Recently, we couldn't really hold it that much. Yesterday, we still closed above it, but we need to see how today actually ends. And yesterday, you're seeing this inverted hammer. Buyers tried to push the price all the way up to the 59,000, but sellers rejected it. We still closed above the daily moving average here, the 50 daily moving average, but still, this is a bearish overall candle, and you're seeing that bearish sentiment play out today across on Bitcoin and the majority of the market here. But we got some random coins like Dogecoin still up 14% today, so something to definitely keep in mind. But overall, back to VeChain here. So that's what I'm saying. You can see here I have Bitcoin's candlesticks also on the bottom, just showing you how VeChain definitely follows Bitcoin's action. And when Bitcoin's having a good day, a nice green day, you'll see VeChain having another green day when Bitcoin is indecisive. So very narrow bodied candles, just such as this one over here. Just like this one, you're gonna have the same thing with VeChain. So you're seeing a bit of retracement today happening with Bitcoin, and VeChain is doing the same thing. But this is what we're having right here on the daily. The MACD overall, the MACD was down ticking for a while here since April 30th, and today we're having a more than usual negative sentiment. So sellers are in the market right now. We still have a 12 hours to go for the day, so we'll see how that plays out. But you're seeing here that we're supposed to continually move to the positive, where the buying, where the momentum is more towards the buying, and there's a lot of buying pressure. But today, obviously, Bitcoin is moving the way it wants to move, and the whole market needs to comply, basically. But overall, we have the stochastic RSI all the way in the bottom. MACD is also was having a higher low, but right now kind of broke below the 54 level. Stochastic was trying to move up again, also got have a bit of a hard time to move upwards, but we're all the way in the bottom in terms of the RSI itself. So something to keep in mind right now. Whatever's happening with Bitcoin is definitely driving this, so we can see that, we know that. And overall, if you're looking at the volume over here, you'll see how we're having a less than the average. So this is the moving average for the volume itself, and we've been below it ever since April 24th. So usually the volume right now is relatively low. So if I put a line somewhere here just so you can see maybe yesterday's, because today is not done, you'll see how yesterday's volume was pretty low relative to the previous uptrend period that we had. But something significant to keep in mind here is that whenever the volume is all the way like this in the bottom, whenever it's low or it's reaching lower levels, there's usually a explosive movement that happens after. So what I mean by that is, if you see here, the less and less volume you have as the price moves, the more of a less interest in the current trend we're having. So now the current trend with VeChain is that movement upwards. And it was just showing us that, hey, maybe it's not the buyers are not really as involved at the moment in terms of VeChain, which makes sense because the whole market is looking at what Bitcoin's next move is. So we need to keep that in mind for sure, guys. It's positive and all that, but you need to keep in mind the fact that Bitcoin is dictating the market. But the way it works is usually you have something like this. You have a huge a lot more than average volume, goes all the way up, and then less and less interest in the current trend, which is upwards. And as we move away from the price, the volume goes all the way down, and then you have another explosive moment where it just keeps uptrending again. Explosive, then less and less interest. It doesn't really move as explosive. It goes sideways for a bit here, then again another movement upwards. So now this is what we're seeing. We had that movement upwards over here. We're going down. So I would say sometime soon here, VeChain will make that explosive move. Now, to the upside or the downside, I still think, I'm very bullish on VeChain overall, but it's something to keep in mind. Definitely whatever is happening is worrying with Bitcoin, but overall, this is a great buying opportunity for a lot of people, right? A lot of people are buying this before the all-time highs that they had at the 28 cents. So right now, this is at a nice discounted price for a lot of people. And obviously, this is not a financial advice. You need to always do your own research, and that's what we do here every time we put a video out. We hope that you actually take that video with a grain of salt and actually do your own research, because you really need to be confident in your whatever you're investing, especially if you're looking for a long-term investment here. But this is the 1 hour. If we're looking at the 4 hour over here, it's going to paint the picture a bit better for you. You'll see how the 100 EMA right now is acting as a support. We're trying to find that support at it, so we'll see if that holds or not. But I would see somewhere here at the 19 cents, 19.5 cents is a very critical level. We're seeing that every time we drop below it, and even over here acted as a support. Drop below it, find that support, keep moving upwards, and then get met up with that resistance at the 22.7 cents that we talked about here previously. So right now, it's definitely acting as a support. Overall, we're finding that support at the 55 EMA as well. As soon as we broke above it, came back down to retest and then push up. So right now we're below it, and we'll need to see sometime here is going to get squeezed for sure. VeChain's price action, but I would say it looks like right now that we are stuck in this ascending triangle. So higher lows, buyers are coming in more aggressively, and the sellers are coming in at a constant rate at the 22.7. So right now we are expected to continue to go up, and this is what usually happens if we're having an ascending triangle. It's a bullish pattern. It's telling you that the sellers are coming in at a constant rate, at a constant ceiling. Buyers are a lot more aggressive, and sometime soon here, buyers and sellers will meet, and that's the explosive action that will also go in line with the low volume we're having, right? We said that every time the low volume happens, there's a major movement that happens. right after. So right now, soon enough here, I would say somewhere, within the next, I would say a couple of days, maybe 3-4 days, VeChain will make a move. And yeah, if Bitcoin actually continues to downtrend today, it looks like we might be retracing outside of this zone over here and actually continue to go to lower levels, and I would say somewhere around the 17.2 cents. So I'll give you the criteria that I would be looking at personally in terms of how when I would be worried about VeChain and where I would be more excited about it. Overall, for having an ascending triangle like this one, you'll expect the price action to go this way. So we go up, we go down, go up, go down, find support, go up, and play around here for a bit. And this is when it gets very crazy, extremely volatile. And usually if it's an ascending triangle, a lot of traders would be looking at a breakout, come back down to retest, and push back upwards. Now pushing back upwards would be basically the height of your base of that triangle. So we'd be looking at somewhere like this. We take the height all the way to the base, move it towards the presumed breakout point, and that would take us to a profit level taken at somewhere at I would say somewhere at the 29 cents 30 cent region. And that's where a majority of traders would be looking at taking a profit. But at least I would say is if we break above this, then we're definitely going to move upwards for sure. But with whatever's happening with Bitcoin right now, is that a possible scenario? I need to see how Bitcoin actually closes for the day. If Bitcoin actually closes below the 50 daily moving average, then I would definitely be worried about what VeChain will do. If we continue, if this is the daily moving average of Bitcoin, if we actually continue to close below it, then it's not really that much of a good sign. But if we go back to VeChain over here. Now, if specifically for VeChain, once VeChain, because we're expecting buyers to come in at this point for sure, as soon as VeChain actually closes below these levels over here, I would say somewhere, let's just maybe draw a box somewhere over here. As soon as VeChain actually comes down to retest these levels, so I would say the 18 cent, 18.5 cent region, this low basically. This low is what we're looking at. So if it goes down below this guy over here, we have a clear low, we have a clear low, higher low, higher low. If this fails to become a higher low and doesn't really go all the way up here, sorry, there's a lot of scribbles that I'm having here, and we actually continue to go back down here and actually not form that higher low that we're looking at, then I think that's something that will get me a bit not discouraged, but I would say a bit patient in terms of getting too excited at the moment for a uptrend. But if you're holding for a long time, there's just a lot of noise, obviously. So these are the levels we're looking at. If we fail to continue to make this higher low over here and then come back to retest the 18 cent region, then I think there's a continued retracement for VeChain that's going to happen. But if we do find that support and Bitcoin works in our favor today, then definitely VeChain will continue to push back up to the 22 cent. And at that point, we'll expect a breakout and continue to these higher levels. So that's pretty much it with the price action. We just literally we're peaking in terms of the MACD. The next couple of candles here, we'll see how that plays out, starts to flatten out. But RSI is a bit heading towards the oversold region, and the stochastic RSI is all the way in the bottom. And usually, if you take a look at this, I will see every time the stochastic RSI is all the way in the bottom, we have a bit of a leg up. Every time it's all the way in the bottom, we have a bit of a leg up. Same thing, you can pick so many points here. Same thing here as well. Every time the stochastic is all the way in the bottom, you look at the price action, we have a downtrend. Stochastic goes all the way in the bottom, you have a nice uptrend as well. Same thing over here. Stochastic on the on the oversold region, you'll have an uptrend. So you can pinpoint that all across the chart basically, and based on that, based on the previous historical data, you'll assume that VeChain wants to have another leg up soon here. So something to keep in mind. But overall, we also have like a bunch of exciting news here for the past couple of weeks with VeChain. A nice article with a lot of positive sentiment behind it from the author. VeChain is gaining popularity as dual crypto and logistics blockchain solution. It really delves into the details of what VeChain stands for, how the blockchain operates, and all the partnerships that are in VeChain's disposal at the moment. We got DNV overall, which is a Norwegian company, largest classification society, providing service for 13,000 vessels and mobile offshore units. So it's all the supply and demand or tracking of products. VeChain really does a great job at it. We have BMW at one point. We had Walmart also have a bit of a small, I would say, study or a maybe something. I'll just pull up the article here. I'll just have it for you on the, that was back in 2019, so it's been a couple of years ago, but it's just showing you that it's actually attractive for these big players, basically, right? So, and such a nice thing to see this also being listed on Nasdaq as well. So just something to keep in mind. You know, I'm not really gonna go fully into the article itself, but it mentions a lot of details of what's going on with VeChain. And as well, recently here, I think it was April 22nd, when VeChain is actually filing a US patent for, yeah, April 22nd, for basically tracking carbon emissions, I believe, and having that data basically stored on the blockchain. So it's a lot more secure, it's a lot more transparent, and you know, just hacker proof, basically. So just something to keep in mind. Obviously, there's a lot of nuances that we can get into with all that, but it's just telling you that the project itself, or the VeChain team, is continuously trying to get more into the market and showcase those use cases that they have. But I'll leave those links in the description for you below to read up on it. Make sure you actually read up on whatever you invest in and gain that confidence in it. So it just makes your life a lot more easier, right? So that's pretty much it for me here with the VeChain. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you liked the video, please comment, like, share, subscribe. Let me know if you agree with the analysis or you disagree. And yeah, if you'd like to support us on Patreon, then definitely do so. The link is in the description below. It definitely helps out with the channel a lot, and we thank you for that. And if you want to join our Discord, then make sure you do so. We also have the link in the description, and that way you can just stay updated on the market overall. So thank you for watching. Have a great day.